Hello, I'm DragonSkull7 and today I'll be showing you how to make custom mob spawners in Minecraft 1.17 using commands. These commands allow you to change what spawns, how far away it spawns, and they're useful things like that. You might be wondering how to get a spawner, and to do this you can do /give and then your player name. I'm clicking tab here so it fills it in for me, and spawner, and you get a spawner, and by default it'll be a pig. You can also set block, clicking tab again so I can get the coordinates, and spawner, and it's going to give you an error message because it doesn't want to set a spawner when there's already a spawner there. So now you can do it again. It'll be a pig still, but now you can use this and modify the data or just set the block and change the data. Next, you'll want to put the command in a command block because it's going to get pretty long, and once you do that you'll see that there's this little curly brace and you can fill those in. This is where you're going to put the data. So the first data you can put is delay, and this is basically how long it's going to take right after the block gets set down or right after someone gets into range of the block for it to spawn, how long it's going to take for the mob to spawn. After that we're going to put SpawnData, all one word like that with capitals, a colon here, and then two curly braces filling it in. And here we will put the mob that we want to spawn. So if we put ID equals zombie, and we actually do have to put a Minecraft in front of this, then it'll spawn a zombie here as soon as we click this lever. Once you put the mob that you want, you can put different data for it. So I can put no AI equals 1, and that's some data that makes it unable to move, so it's just going to stay here. And if you want a tutorial on mob data, I can do that. It's pretty powerful. But after that you can put some more thing outside of these braces so it's not part of the spawn data. You can put right here, but still in this one. You can put right here SpawnRange, like that, similar to spawn data, and this is how far away it's going to spawn from the mob spawner. So I can put it for 1, and it's going to spawn right on the mob spawner or very close to it. But if I put it for like 5, it can be a lot more spread out. Next, it gets a bit more complicated because there are parts that have to be with each other in order for to work. So one of these is MaxNearbyEntities, and this is going to be a number, and it's how many entities of the one that's spawning can be in the area before it stops working. So say there's 5 zombies and it's spawning zombies and this is set to 5, then it's going to stop spawning them from there on. And next is RequiredPlayerRange, and this is also going to be a number, and it's going to be how far away can the player be for it to stop spawning and how close do they have to be for it to spawn. So if this is say 1, it's not going to work until I'm very close. And as you can see there, the delay that I set earlier, the moment I got close to it is spawned. Next is MaxSpawnDelay, and this is the maximum amount of time between each mob spawns once a wave of mobs spawn. And this is the inverse of that is MinSpawnDelay, and it's basically the minimum of amount of time. And so you can basically set this to be a range. If you set it to be the same, it'll just always be the same. And then lastly, for this to work, there has to be SpawnCount, and this is how many mobs spawn. So if it's 1, only 1 will spawn, but if it's 6, it's potentially 6 will spawn. And if I set this and get close to it, you can see it does not take a lot of time for it to spawn because I set the spawn delay, and also a lot of them spawn. Lastly, we have spawn potentials. And this basically allows you to spawn multiple kinds of mobs, so maybe a zombie with armor and a zombie with a different type of armor, or a zombie and a spider. But this does override SpawnData, and to do this you do square brackets, and then in here you create a list of the different ones you want. So I can put entity and then more squiggly brackets, and then like in SpawnData, ID equals Minecraft zombie, and then out here, not inside of this, but like next where the inside of entity, you would put weight, and this is basically the chances of it spawning, and the greater it is compared to others, the better chance there is of it spawning. So then if I just copy this, then I go back, I can put a spider here with a weight of 2, and I'll have a better chance of spawning. And now when I spawn it and I go near it, you can see zombie spawn and spider spawn. And you can do this with really any entity. So you can have an armor stand spawner, or like you saw in the beginning, a boat spawner if you want that. And it can get pretty crazy. Thank you for watching. If you want a tutorial on entity data, leave that in the comments. And if you found this helpful, leave a like. And remember, I'm bad at outros.